And is my screen is visible to all? Please put your response in the chat box by which we can proceed. Am I audible? Okay. Can you able to see my screen? Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, welcome to the next interactive session, that is online lecture on power plant engineering. Today we will discuss on hydroelectric power plant. The question which is I've asked in the chat box initially before to start the today's online session is what are the different types of conventional power plants that we have or those are existing. So different types of conventional plants are existing. As its name indicates, conventional. So with the help of conventional methods or conventional fuels, we are generating electrical power. That's why those plants are called conventional power plants. In the conventional power plants, the prime power plants are hydroelectric power plant, thermal power plant, and nuclear power plant. Because uh, almost right from the starting, we are using thermal power plant as well as the hydroelectric power plant for to generate the electricity. As I said, depending on the type of fuel or depending on the availability of the fuel, we are going to classify the type of power generation or electrical power plant. So as I said, in conventional power plant, we have thermal, we have hydro, we have nuclear. That is based on the conventional fuel. Today we are going to discuss on hydroelectric power plant. So in hydroelectric power plant, the basic fuel is water. With the help of the water, we are going to generate an electricity. So first of all, let's see the operating principle of hydroelectric power plant. The hydroelectric power is generated by the flow of water through turbine, turning the blades of the turbine. Means the water is stored in the reservoir. That stored water in the reservoir is having potential energy. So when we are releasing that water through penstock, that potential energy is getting converted into kinetic energy. And with the help of turbine, that kinetic energy, we can convert it into the mechanical energy. As everybody knows that the turbine and the shaft of the electrical generator, they are mechanically coupled. So as we're having coupling of the turbine shaft and the generator shaft, the rotor of the generator will rotate. And as everybody knows that if rotor of the generator or alternator is going to rotate in the presence of electromagnetic field, the EMF is getting induced in the armature conductors. That is what the generation of the electricity. So this is how, or this is what the basic working of, or the basic working principle of hydroelectric. Sometimes it is called as hydel power plant. So this is what, say, a generalized diagram or schematic diagram of hydroelectric power station or power plant. In this, as I said, okay, 1 second. Yeah. This is what the area in which the water is stored. Say it is a reservoir in which we are going to store the water. The next to the water is the dam wall. So we are constructing dam wall across the river or across the flow of water, by which if you have a dam is nothing but a sort of big wall across which we can store the water. So across the flow of water or river, the dam is constructed, and with the help of that, the water is stored. While constructing a dam or while constructing a hydropower station, there are different factors for the site selection that we'll see afterwards. So with the help of dam, we are going to store the water in the reservoir. So wherever we are going to store the water, that part of the power plant is called as the reservoir. And it is also sometimes is called as the catchment area where the water is stored. This stored water is having the kinetic energy. Then you can see this particular part of the power plant. This is what the penstock. This penstock is nothing but a pipe or a sort of way by which we can take out the stored water from the dam to the powerhouse. So through the penstock, we are taking out the water from the reservoir or from the dam. One more thing which it needs you to take a note, that is the difference between the heads. So as head is high, the less amount of water is required to drive the turbine. So especially while selecting a site for the hydropower plant, the main concern is the head. So as much as high head we have to build a hydropower plant, less amount of water or less amount of fuel is required to generate the electricity. So there is a prime constraint that the reservoir and the powerhouse, that is where we are going to place the generator, they're having the difference in terms of uh, heads by which uh, we can connect the penstock or the way in between reservoir and the powerhouse. Now in this, as I said, through the penstock, we are going to give away or we are going to release the water from dam or reservoir to the powerhouse. So as I said, penstock is nothing but a pipe or the way by which we can move the water. So as you can see, this is the incline. So as there is a difference in the height, so stored water is having kinetic energy. That kinetic energy is getting converted. Sorry, stored water is having the potential energy. This potential energy is getting converted into the kinetic energy with the help of penstock. So as they're having the height difference or head difference, while moving the water or while shifting water from reservoir towards the powerhouse, that water is getting kinetic energy. This kinetic energy is converted in the mechanical energy with the help of turbine, which is placed in the powerhouse. As I said, the turbine is mechanically coupled with the generator, so it will generate the electricity and it will transfer or it will send that energy for the transmission purpose. Make a note that in the powerhouse or in any electrical, almost conventional power plants, so almost either at 11 kV or 22 kV or maximum 33 kV is what the level of voltage at which we can generate the electricity. So once it is going to generate the electricity at said level, it is with the help of step up transformer, it will be sent it to the transmission purpose. So as most of the hydropower plants are located in the remote places, because there are much more difficulties in the site selection. In the short period of time, we will look at the site selection criteria for the hydropower plant even. So before that, as I said, there are much more difficulties to select a site for the hydropower plant because many constraints we need to consider uh, for to select a site for the hydropower plant. So next, the point of discussion is the selection of site for the hydropower plant. Meanwhile, I'll just one more time ask you a question in the chat box, or you can answer it in the chat box. What are the different voltage levels, standard voltage levels that we are using in electrical transmission, electrical generation, and electrical distribution? You can post your answer through the chat box. I'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes. The question is, what are the different standard voltage levels that we have in India for electrical generation, electrical transmission, and electrical distribution? Post your answer in the chat box, or you can unmute your mic and you can tell your answer. Okay, very good. So 11 kV, 22 kV, 33 kV is what the voltage levels which we are going to use for the electrical generation. Very nice. For the transmission purpose, the highest voltage level that we have in India is 765 kilovolts. This is latest highest voltage level in India. Then after we are having 400 kV. After that we are having 220 kV. After that 132 kV. After that 110 kV. And then after, for the distribution level or for the distribution purpose, we are using 33 kV, 11 kV, and as some of you have mentioned in the chat box, that is for the residential purpose, commercial purpose, we are going to send it 440 kV. One more question I would like to ask you. Can anybody knows what voltage level traction system is utilizing in India, especially in the Mumbai local, or even the track right now, whatever we having near to Kolhapur to Pune, that is also electrified. So can anybody tell what voltage level it has been utilized for traction purpose? Okay, it is a 22 kV that right now we're using for the traction purpose. Let's move ahead to the next point, that is site selection for the hydroelectric power plant. So most prime concern is the availability of the water throughout the year. That is, it needs us to know the runoff data for many years. So as I said, it is not like that only the data of 1 year or 2 years is been considered before to select a site for the hydroelectric power plant. The data of 50 to 60 years has been considered to select a site of hydroelectric power plant for getting to know the availability of the water, because for 1 or 2 years there may be changes in the either percentage of rain or rainy season. So therefore, so to know on an average basis the availability of the water, we have to consider many years, and many years data is needs to be considered. In the availability of the water, it needs us to see what amount of rain is there in the either near to the dam or throughout the catchment area of the hydroelectric power plant. Because though we are having less amount of rain near to the dam, if you have average or good amount of rainfall in the catchment area of the dam, then that will be very good in terms of collection of fuel for the electricity generation. So availability of the water is prime concern for the selection of site for the hydroelectric power plant. Next is the water storage. So for water availability throughout the year, it needs us to store the water. So as I said, with the help of dam, we are collecting water in the reservoir. So as I said, as much as long and big reservoir we having, we can able to store that much amount of water or large amount of water in the reservoir. And if you have large amount of water in the reservoir, so there will be no scarcity of water for electricity generation. Then head of the water, next criteria. So as I said, most economic head, possibility of constructing a dam to get the required head. So as much as high head we are having, so that much amount of, or it is inverse proportion to the amount of fuel, that is water required for the generation. So if you have high head, so that much amount of elevation or that much amount of kinetic energy the water will get to while transferring from reservoir or dam towards the powerhouse. So if you have higher and higher head, as I said, that much water is saved for the generation of electricity. Then geological investigation, that is strong foundation, earthquake frequency is very less. So as water is getting stored throughout the year, it needs us to require a strong foundation to erect or to construct a dam for to store the water in case of hydroelectric power plant. So therefore, a strong foundation is required. Most of the hydroelectric power plant requires rocky area where it is very easy to rely on the whatever natural resources we are having to that particular site. So this is what the prime concern, as well as the next concern in the geological investigation is the earthquake frequency. If you have frequent earthquake in which or the at which site where we are going to locate or finalize the hydroelectric power plant, so it is very difficult to provide safety for the either say dam of the wall or different parts of the hydroelectric power plant. So therefore, geological investigation is also that much important while selecting a site for the hydroelectric power plant. Then about the water pollution, excessive corrosion and damage to metallic structures. So if water stored in the reservoir in the dam, if it is a polluted water, then it might impact onto the structure, metallic structure of the power plant, as well as it may impact onto the any part of the hydroelectric power plant. Then sedimentation, capacity reduces due to the gradual deposition of fluid. So as everybody knows that the reservoir of the hydroelectric power plant is having very large catchment area. If you take into the consideration of the example which is very near to us and it is very common to everyone, those who are living in the Maharashtra, that is Koyna hydroelectric power station. So in the Koyna, it has a very long catchment area. So might be everyone knows about the Mahabaleshwar. So from the dam site or from the Koyna, the almost end of the reservoir or catchment area is near to the Mahabaleshwar. So that much amount of big catchment area the Koyna hydroelectric power plant is having. So because of movement of water, there is a gradual deposition of slit in different parts of the catchment area of the power plant. So that is also needs to be considered while selecting a site for the hydroelectric power plant. Then next is the social and environmental effects, that is submergence of area, effect on biodiversity, cultural and historical aspects. So everybody knows that when there is construction of a site for hydroelectric power plant, so for to have a larger catchment area, many villages or many people will get affected. So it needs to consider how much area or how much villages or how much populated area is getting affected due to the construction of the dam or the construction of the dam at a particular height. Then as water is getting stored throughout the very large area, so from that area biodiversity is also getting affected. Especially in the Western Ghat, we are having very diverse biodiversity in terms of animals, in terms of plant, in terms of species, and many more. So if you have a kind of hydroelectric power plant in those diverse areas where we are having very much large biodiversity, so that biodiversity will getting affected. And if that biodiversity is getting affected due to the construction of hydroelectric power plant, it might affect onto the whole cycle of the environment. As well, the last 2 points from that point is cultural and historical aspects. So if any cultural or historical aspect is there, which is involved with the site, then that also needs to be considered. Then access to the site for the transportation of construction material and heavy machinery at the particular site, it needs to be have access to the site that is easy for the transportation, and transportation especially requires before to construct a dam for the construction material and large machineries which it requires to move it or transport it at the site of the plant. So for that it requires to us to have access to the site either in terms of roads or in terms of rail. So therefore, this is also important criteria. And next criteria, the last criteria is multi-purpose. So as all we know that we are using hydroelectric power plant not only for to generate the electricity, but we are storing the water to have a water throughout the year for the sake of irrigation, for the sake of drinking water, and many more advantages we are getting with the help of hydroelectric power plant. So even this dam or hydro site can be utilized to control the flood, uh, recreation, as the initial cost of the power plant is very high because of civil construction work. So as I said, as far as site of the hydroelectric power plant is concerned, these are what the some important points. Now let's try to imagine or try to recall. As I said, that most popular example that we have near to us is the Koina power plant. So if you take into the consideration the site for the Koina power plant, so if we take into the first criteria, that is availability of the water. So as everybody knows that we have very good average rainfall in the catchment area of the Koina, especially can anybody tell me where we have more and more more and more rainfall in the catchment area of the Koina? Through the chat box. Might be everyone is quite, the name is quite familiar to everyone. That is, especially in the rainy season, we are going to hear the name of that particular area very frequently on the news channels, where we have a large rainfall. Is it Navja? Is it Pofri? Yeah. So if you take into consideration Navja for the Koina hydroelectric power plant, so Navja is a part of the catchment area of Koina hydroelectric power plant. So as I said, we do have to consider the average rainfall or rainfall throughout the year in the catchment area of the Koina. So first point is well suited for the Koina power plant. Then that is water storage. To have water available throughout the year, with the help of mountains surrounding to the dam, we can able to store lot much amount of water, which uh, can be available throughout the year for the generation of electricity. So there is no construction cost to store the water in the dam. Only the cost of the construction of dam is getting involved, because rest of the, I'm talking about concerning to the Koina power plant or Koina hydroelectric power plant, because almost all around the catchment area we have a big mountains. So with the help of that, the water is getting stored inside the catchment area, and there is no requirement of to construct the dam for the Koina hydroelectric power station. Then even about the head also, as it is located in the hilly area, so head of the water stored and the head of the powerhouse, they're having very much big difference in between them. Therefore, it will be suitable to generate large amount of power throughout the year. Then about the water pollution, sedimentation, we will not take into consideration because these are also going to impact onto the different aspects of the locality. So if you take into the consideration, as I said repeatedly, if you take into the consideration Koina hydroelectric power plant, so uh, almost all the criteria for the site selection for the hydropower plant are getting matched with the Koina hydroelectric plant. So I can say that the Koina hydroelectric power plant has ideal site for to construct a hydroelectric power plant. Now, based on this, I will ask a next question to you all, that apart from Koina, what are the different hydroelectric plants that we have near to us, either in Kolhapur district, either in Sangli district, or Satara district, or the districts which are located in the Maharashtra that you know? Please post your answer through the chat box. Okay, very good. So near to us, we have Radhanagri Dam, where we can have a generation of electricity. In the Radhanagri, we having two power plants. One is owned by MSEDCL, Maharashtra State Electricity Distribution Board, and other is owned by a private company. So we are having uh, two generators in the Radhanagri. Uh, yeah, very good. Sandoli Hydroelectric Power Plant. So there also we do have a plant owned by MSEDCL as well as a plant of private owner.